All right, so thank you all for joining us. Um, this is going to be our last webinar of the year because we're right here. Next month is Wreath Day, and it's crazy to think how fast the year has gone by. I do have a little bit of a sore throat today, a little bit of a cold, so if y'all can just bear with me, and we will try to get through this. So I do want to share, as of right now, we have over 5,500 participating locations, which is incredible. Every year we're like, oh, this is our biggest year of growth. And then every year, the next year, there's, more locations that come on board. And it just speaks a lot to um, the communities and what you guys are doing in your communities where people want to continue growing and bringing on their cemeteries. And so thank you guys for all that you do in your communities and spreading the word and continuing to come back and do this every year. So we are just a few weeks out from National Wreaths Across America Day this year, which is December 13th. And so we're going to walk through a few things that you need to know and prepare in preparation of our cutoff for this year. So with cutoff date just around the corner, it's time to kind of get those last big pushes out. Some of you guys did use some of the highlighted messages that we have available in the new system and the upgraded system that we have. And the last round that we did that went out Monday and Tuesday, it's kind of staggered based off of just volume that's going out, but had an incredible response. Lots of responsorships from that for your groups and locations. So if you're not taking advantage of those, I really encourage you to log into your dashboard and use some of those highlighted messages that we do have available for you. You can also create your own. It's a great way to engage sponsors and make sure you are sending your reorder requests. So anyone who has not reordered yet for this year, if you go in, you send those reorder requests, you can do them all at one time. And it's a great way to get last minute pushes for your wreath counts as we do approach cutoff day. So you want to make sure you're sharing this cutoff date, that with your, online support. If you have social media that you're using, make sure you're encouraging people to go ahead and sponsor now before the cutoff day and kind of create that sense of urgency so they understand it's important for them to do it before your cutoff day. Because while we will continue to take sponsorships and try to get as many of those to you as we can, they are only guaranteed if they do come in before cutoff day. So here are the cutoff days for the individual regions. December 1st for region 1, 2, and 5, and November 28th for region 3 and 4. Not wide, too spread out, but just a little staggered there as we have a shorter window for shipping this year because it is the second Saturday of Wreath Across America is the second Saturday of December this year. So one thing to know is we do have the cutoff forms. If you were around last year or years before, we used to send that you had it for a few days. This year, the cutoff form you're going to have for a full week, which we found really successful last year because it was able to kind of spread it out, gave you guys more time to submit those cutoffs. So for the cutoff date, you're going to submit. These are just orders that need to be placed by this date to be guaranteed for delivery for this year. It is just you don't have to worry about the time zone. It says 11:59 Eastern Standard Time. We're not coming in the middle of the night and pulling sponsorship or the orders and stuff like that and shipping them. So if you have someone who places an order at midnight in your time zone, it's still going to go in and count for that day. So you just want to make sure you get all those orders in. That's guaranteed for delivery for this year. Anything that comes in after the cutoff date, we will do our best to get on those trucks for you. Just know that they're not guaranteed. But we will do everything in our power to accommodate those, get those on, because we want to make sure that you are getting as many races as you need to sponsor the veterans in your cemetery for this year. And this cutoff date does apply to mailed in orders. and online orders. So as you get closer to the cutoff date, pushing those online orders is going to be the easiest way to ensure that it gets processed in time. When you're mailing those orders in, you do need to account for that mail time, because if we don't know about the order coming in and we don't receive it till after cutoff date, it would not be guaranteed. So, in processing your cutoff forms and letting us know what you need, an important thing is knowing how many wreaths you currently have. So, there are three ways that you can see your wreath count: the wreathometer, the wreath count report, and your research orders. The wreathometer is a helpful tool. It shows your live count of your orders that you've received, and gives you an instant snapshot of your progress. And that is what is on your public page, so other people can see it too. It's a great tool to be able to share with people, to let them know, like, hey, we just have, 20 wreaths to go to our goal. Your wreath count report is not live, but it is a great place to be able to get like a breakdown to see what all those wreaths that you have are coming from, who's sponsored them, if they're carryovers, credits, or any of that stuff. And just keep in mind that that report, because it is not live, it updates every 24 hours. It's usually in the middle of the night. So you might, if someone places an order that day, you're not going to see that on that wreath count report until the next day, but it will show in your wreathometer. So if you do see a little bit of a difference where your wreathometer has 20 wreaths and your wreath count report only has 15, that is why that would be. And your research orders, that is live as well. So if you see a discrepancy between your wreathometer and your wreath count report, the next place you can go is your research orders. And you can see, oh, yep, I had, a sponsorship for 5 wreaths that came in today. That's what that difference is. The research orders just provides you a breakdown of, sponsorships that have come in. You can filter it by year or month or however you want to do it. The wreath count report is a great one if you're going to be downloading it to use it for anything. It's really easy to download that one into an Excel file and use it for your own needs. For online orders, again, those are going to process more quickly. They're going to be visible in your dashboard within 24 to 48 hours. Typically, they're right away. As we get busier and more orders are coming in, you could see that go up to the 24 to 48 hours there. But it's going to you're going to see the impact of that sponsorship go up faster. For mailed in orders, just know that they are processed as they come in. So they're going to take a little bit longer to process to show here in your wreath count reports. And if you ever have any questions on your wreath count reports, always reach out to your liaisons, because they're happy to walk you through that and give you a breakdown on it. So when you're checking to see if you have, funds that you've mailed in, to see if they've already been applied to your wreath count report, you're going to take a look at your wreath count report. You're going to go to your details tab, and you're going to want to make sure that the funds that you have mailed in have been received by HQ before the regional cutoff date. If not, you're going to want to submit a cutoff form for them. So we always encourage you to log into your wreath count report and look through it. You can use some of the different filter options to, filter it, search. You can go into research orders and search there too if you would like. And if you are looking and you don't see it and you're not sure if you should include it in your cutoff form, again, you can reach out to your regional liaison, and that is something that we can certainly help you to see if that is something that we have received or not. And we will have these slides available for you guys on the page, um, on the volunteer resource page for you after the webinar is over. So for the online orders, again, that's going to be your quickest way to get those sponsorships in, especially up until the last minute. So make sure you're sharing your page and if you are a sponsorship group, always share your sponsorship group page. If you are a location without a sponsorship group, you would just share your your location page. And it's a great great way to, promote, get people to sponsor, get them to sign up as a volunteer, and they can customize those wreaths and whatever they want for this year. They can do, lost my train of thought there. Patriot pairs. We've got also have e-cards in honor and memory of is a great thing to do around the holidays, especially. So, remind people that this is the time they can kind of get that in now and, honor people for Christmas and also go ahead and honor a veteran for Reads Across America Day. And again, those are going to be your quickest way to get those numbers up as we get closer and closer to cutoff day. So for the cutoff form is going to be only for funds that you have in hand, not for stuff that's, been played, not for online orders, not for stuff that's been mailed in that we know we've received, not for your total for the year. So the cutoff form is essentially an IOU for us to say like, hey, I have this much money that my neighbor just gave me, or I did a fundraising event yesterday and I have this much money and I want to send it in. We do understand that going into cutoff week, that is a very big week for fundraising events. You've got Thanksgiving and people kind of start shifting gears and they're like, oh, Christmas is coming. Oh, I need to get my wreath from Reach Across America. Um, and so we know that's a big fundraising event for you guys. So in order for you guys to be able to take advantage of that, we do have created the cutoff form, and it is the whole week long that you can submit it. And again, it's going to work as an IOU. So you're going to say, hey, I have this much money in my hand, and this is what I'm sending in. So when you're getting ready to fill out that cutoff form, you're going to make sure you gather all your checks and have everything in your hand that you want for your delivery for this year. If your location is already fully covered, and these wreaths, you have funds that for wreaths that would be for the next year, you can just go ahead and hold those till after the cutoff date and then send them in. Or you can just include on the front of the envelope that they're for 2026. And that way that will help our finance office out just a little bit so they're not sifting through thinking that they need to be applied for this year. Next, you're going to complete a tally sheet or a sponsorship form. If you have checks for multiple locations, you're going to fill out a separate tally sheet for each location and you'll submit separate cutoff forms for them. And when you go through the cutoff form, it really is going to, it's a question by question. It's going to kind of walk you through the process of exactly what you need to do in order for us to be able to quickly take that information and send it over to finance to make sure that we're getting everything on the trucks and all that. You're also going to need to have documentation. So a photo of either the tally sheet that you're submitting, or the sponsorship, or the the Wreath sponsorship form that you're going to be submitting. You're going to take a picture of that and you're going to upload it right into the form. And that way we can just verify the information that you have provided us is accurate, so that when we send you the correct amount of wreaths. When you're filling out the cutoff form, you are going to be asked to upload your tally sheet, order form, like I mentioned, and you will receive that cutoff form a week prior to your cutoff day. So you're going to have a whole week to be able to fill out this cutoff form. So if you have one, stuff that you got in hand, you want to go ahead and submit it. You can go ahead and turn it in, and then if 2 days later someone sends you another check, you can go ahead and submit for that one as well. Um, and then you would need to submit after you finish your cutoff form and you send everything in. You are going to mail your stuff in by December 5th. And I think I'm going to talk about that a little bit later too. But after our team reviews the cutoff form, so you're going to submit the cutoff form, our team's going to review it. We're going to look to see if everything matches. And after they review it, you're going to receive a cutoff approval email. And you should receive that within 1 business day of submitting that cutoff form. And that email will include a document that you will send with your check. So make sure that you don't put your stuff in the mail until after you get that cutoff approval. You're going to put that approval letter in that packet that you're sending in with us, and that just helps finance to be able to match that up. So fill out your cutoff form, wait for your cutoff approval email, print that off, put it in with your checks, and send it right to HQ so that they can get that processed. So once you're in the cutoff form, we talked about like you can only do one location per cutoff form. So you're going to select one location. And if you have funds on hand for multiple locations, you'll just fill out a separate cutoff form for each one of those. And again, you can see here on the screen where it's going to ask you, are these all for, are they all going to the same location? When you go to fill out what location, you're going to start typing the ID. It's going to pull up a list and you're going to select it from there. Same thing for groups. So for the groups, you're going to, it's going to ask you what group you want that cutoff form to be applied for. You're going to start typing in that group. You're going to be able to pick it from your list. If you don't see it, your group on there, contact your liaison so we can get that updated for you. There is an option to select other, but if you select other, we don't know whether your group is a, $5 forward, $5 back, or no plan. So you want to make sure that if you do select other, just so you can go ahead and submit that, reach out to your liaisons and let them know so that they can get that updated for you. Next, once you select your group, you've selected your location, and selected your group, you're going to want to select put in your total dollar amount for your cutoff funds. And you're going to report. Sorry, I'm having a hard time talking today, guys. You're going to want to report the total dollar amount of cutoff forms that you have in hand specifically for this cutoff form. It's important to make sure you enter that amount in decimal form. So don't forget, like if it's, $12.53, that's what we want to see, $12.53, so that it all masks out correctly. And this is only for funds that you physically have in hand. So again, if you have funds that you've already mailed in, you're not going to put them here. You're going to enter, you're not going to figure in the amount for, $5 for $5 back. You're going to enter it in as like a straight $17 Wreath sponsorship. And then we will apply any of the $5 forward wreaths for you guys. So you don't have to do any of that math. We're going to do it all for you. So when you're uploading your tally sheet and your order form, you're going to want to again make sure that it matches what you reported. If there's a discrepancy there, if you have 10 wreaths on your tally sheet and you've only submitting this for 5 wreaths, it's going to flag it, and your liaisons are going to have to reach out to you, and that could delay it getting processed in time for the cutoff. So, make sure that all that information is matching up. And again, if you need help when you're processing these or submitting these, reach out to your liaisons. They're happy to help you submit it so that we can make sure that it's done right the first time. Also make sure, double check that your group and the location is what you want it to be so that it is going to the correct place. And if your tally sheet has multiple locations listed, you're going to need to split those out to separate tally sheets, one for each location. The only exception is if one check is split between multiple locations. And in that case, you're going to put it on one tally sheet, but submit a cutoff form for each location. And if you're doing that, so it's not going to match exactly because you're going to have one check on, the tally sheet, and it's going to be split between 2 locations, but your liaisons will be able to see that, and they'll be able to still get that processed. So that's the only time that you are going to, submit that tally sheet or sponsorship form where it doesn't match. And again, that is if you have one form of payment, one check, and it's split between multiple locations. Again, I know this can be a lot, it can be confusing. So don't stress it. If you need help, call your liaisons, and they will be happy to walk you through that. If you have more than 4 documents, to upload more than 4 tally sheets, or sponsorship forms, that's amazing. Good job. Way to get those sponsorships. But the form only allows for 4 documents. So anything beyond that, you're going to email those to your regional liaison team, and then they will upload and review those for you. Once you've uploaded those documents, you're going to click submit, and that's it. And then you're just going to wait for your cutoff approval email to be able to mail those in. Keep an eye on your emails and phone during that after you've submitted it, because again, the liaisons are going to review this. And if they have any questions about anything, they're going to reach out to you. We want to make sure that you're getting back to them as quickly as you can, because this is a very tight window of shipping this year, with it being only 2 weeks. So we are moving very quickly and fluidly through this process to get everything 100% accurate and get you guys the wreaths that you need for this year. So once you've submitted your cutoff form, you're going to keep your eye on that email for the approval message. Again, you should receive that within 1 business day. If you aren't seeing it, check your spam folder. If you still aren't seeing it there within a day or 2, reach out to your liaison, because you don't want to wait too long because there could have been an issue. Maybe the cutoff form didn't come through or whatever. So if you don't see it shortly, please reach out to your liaison so they can take a peek for that and see what's going on there. When the approval email comes in, be sure to print out the attachment included, and you're going to include that document in the envelope along with your corresponding funds, tally sheets, order forms, whatever you submitted. And for quicker processing, and to help our finance office out just a little bit, if you can write cutoff on the envelope, it's going to make it easier for them to be able to identify those, pull those out, and know that they're matching them up with a cutoff form that's already been submitted. You're going to mail everything to our headquarters in Maine, and you can see the address here on the screen. And again, these slides are going to be available for you to download from the volunteer resource page. So, once again, just as a reminder in regards to the cutoff forms. So anything submitted on the cutoff form that is processed by the cutoff date is guaranteed for delivery for 2025. Anything that comes in after that, we're going to continue to try to process. So if you have more sponsorships, if you have someone that says, hey, I want to, sponsor Wreath online, it's after the cutoff date, that's fine. We're going to still continue to try to get as many of those wreaths as we can to you. They just aren't guaranteed for this year. And if you have any that don't make it on the shipment for this year, then they will roll over to your location for 2026, and it's going to give you a great head start for next year. And make sure it's not, because we're going to be fundraise all year long. This is a year-round program, so just because cutoff is here, again, you don't want to stop, because if you have a large location, if you're not fully covered, we'll still try to get as many of those sponsorships there. And if you're continuing to take advantage of this time where everyone is kind of focused on Wreaths Across America, you have their attention. It's a great time to really kind of engage with them and get those sponsorships for next year to get that head start. So make sure you're sharing that information with them over the coming month and continuing that fundraising even after your cutoff day to kind of give you that head start for next year. All right. I know that was a lot of information. So we're going to open it up. If anybody has any questions about the cutoffs, or if there's anything else that we can help you with, we'll go ahead and open that up now. And these cutoff forms, you will get an email from your regional liaisons with this cutoff form, again, a week before your cutoff date for your region. So, and in that email, you'll have all the instructions you need as well to process those.
This is Janine Pack, Region 4. Can you hear me?
Hello, Jeanine.
Hi. I only have online stuff. This stuff is just for people giving me checks, things like that. I don't do a tally sheet for all the things that have been ordered online, correct?
Correct. This is only for funds that you
For
have
checks
in
and
hand.
things,
So
and people that that are sponsoring that, corporations, whatever, that give you that. My major concern, and I don't know if you're going to talk about it, is the day of. Um, and that is, I guess I would talk to my location director about that, because I'm concerned about how that operates and how we give the wreaths to people that have come to put the wreaths on the graves, etc. Um, do I
yeah, so
talk
every
to Brenda?
location is Yeah, so every location is different. So they it's up to the location coordinator how they're going to organize that. So you definitely want to reach out to your location coordinator to see what their plans are for distribution that day for the wreaths, whether it's if they're, having groups involved or how they're handling that.
Okay.
And if you do need that contact information, you can find it online or you can contact your liaisons and they can connect you.
I know it's Brenda, but I can't find her phone number online. Is there a way that someone could? I guess I'll just talk to Patricia. Yes, I'll just talk to
Yep,
her.
Patricia. Yeah, she'll
Yeah,
get
yeah,
you.
yeah,
She'll get you
yeah.
connected.
Yeah. And lastly, you do give information about who the volunteers are, or the people who sponsor, not the volunteers, the sponsors. I always have a hard time when I'm going in there. Everything is so wonderfully done. But when I go into my page, manage, it does give me the number of people, the number of wreaths that have been bought, but I can never really get in there very quickly to find out who has sponsored wreaths. And is that is that on that page, or is that my dashboard where I go into,
Yep,
you know
it's going to be
what
in
I'm
your
asking?
dashboard, and that's where we kind of talked about the three different places where you could
Yes,
um,
I know. I saw that.
get them. So
Yeah.
really your wreath count report is going to be a great way because you can download it and then you can, put it in whatever format you want to like really drill down in to see who it is that's sponsoring. Your resource orders is also a really quick place to be able to search by a specific name if you wanted to look it up there. And then you can also see volunteers if you have people who have, volunteered to lay wreaths for the location, but they've done it through your group page. You can see that in the same place under reporting. You have your wreath count report, and then you have the volunteer report as well.
The volunteer report, we don't have people yet who have signed up to volunteer to put the wreaths on, but I'm just looking for the people who have already bought things so I can
Mhm.
tell them that they would be the first in line to get the wreaths that they bought at Miramar National Cemetery. That's another scenario. So
Yeah, and the location coordinator, when they send out information,
yeah,
so when they sign up, they're going to get an email, letting them know what to expect if they do sign up to volunteer. Otherwise, they're going to get emails from the location coordinator about what to expect on the day of. I do know that Brenda sends out emails regarding that, how that all goes. So they will get some from her as well as far as what to expect upon arrival.
uh,
Now, just
I
know
have
that
not.
for the
I
wreaths,
Okay, go ahead.
was it when wreaths are placed for a sponsor for a location, they are not, they're distributed among everybody who comes that shows up. Now,
Okay,
if it's a grave specific wreath,
okay,
they would pick up that wreath and they would place it.
okay,
But if they just sponsored a general wreath, they would not
okay.
necessarily be able to like show up and
Okay,
say, "Hey, I paid for a wreath, I want to place it."
okay, that explains it. I have 90 so far. I'll probably have more than that. So we just distribute it. We distribute it as as the person who represents the group that is under Brenda, or she distributes all the wreaths
She,
that are bought.
yep, she will. So that's the when the groups raise the funds, it all goes in like a funnel, goes up into the location, and then the location coordinator is responsible for staging and distributing those wreaths in a manner that
On the
makes
day
sure
of,
everyone gets to
on
do
the
it.
day
Mhm.
Okay, okay, okay. So that makes it more, I have not heard anything from Brenda yet or gotten an email. So that's why I'm starting to get, not, I know she's really good, but I'll connect with her and I'll talk to Patricia about connecting with her just so I feel a little bit
Yeah,
more
they'll get
calm
you.
about
I
the
think some
day
of our
of.
nationals, yeah, I think some of our nationals too, they were kind of waiting on to see what would happen with the government shutdown because they are
Oh,
government funded cemeteries. So I know some of them have just they've been communicating with us
okay,
um
okay.
ongoing. So you'll probably see
Okay.
some stuff coming in shortly, and please do just reach out to Patricia and she'll help connect you
Yeah,
with
because
her.
I have to tell my people about where we're gonna meet and all that stuff, and I wanted to get an email or a text sent out to them to tell them where we're meeting and to get to the cemetery. So anyway, I'll connect with Patricia and then I'll connect with Brenda and see what the specifics are.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you.
So
Hi,
Julie, Lynn Giblin in Brookline, New Hampshire. I can see that I have 4 volunteers signed up, but I have no idea of how to figure out who those people are. Can you help me with that?
When you go into your volunteer recount report, are
Under
you seeing it there?
reports, under
Hmm.
the volunteer reports,
Hmm.
I know I have 4 volunteers that have committed, but I can't see who they are.
So you should be able to, so when you go into that volunteer report, you should see there's an overview tab and there's a details tab. And that
Okay.
details tab should tell you who it is.
Um, yeah, I guess I'm not seeing that.
And that's something your liaisons can help you with. I will
Yeah,
tell you,
yep,
we do have if anybody who's done this in the past, and will know we had the event participants that was there in the system before, and it did have to get taken down for some upgrades. They were hoping to have that released earlier this morning. And that has not happened yet to my knowledge. So it should be both by the end of this week, everyone should be
okay.
able to see those event participants
All
through
right,
there. And
great.
there you can manage them, you can
It's
message them,
it's
and
my first year and I can reach out to Tessa and Emily about it, certainly.
Can I just
yep.
do it
They're
real
always
quick
very
with her?
helpful.
If she actually, my name is Lee. So if you go to research at the top tab
Yep,
under, okay, and then you go down to reporting,
yep.
okay? And then you'll see that there's 2 that come up. One is a wreath count, one is a volunteers events. Hit the view report under volunteer events.
I did.
Hold on, hold on, hold on. It takes a hot second because it looks like it's
No
coming through
worries.
in basic. And then go to current, just put
Yep,
under the year, just put current. And then what you need to do is on the very bottom is scroll across so you can
okay.
actually see those names where it has contacts.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm only seeing.
Okay, I don't want to hold everybody else up, but
No, no, I don't either.
there's a
Yeah.
spreadsheet and you actually pull it across and then you can see, when they signed up and the names of the contacts. That's all I
Okay.
have. Thank you.
Well, I'm thanks for your help.
Hi,
Yeah, I
this is
think.
Cornelia. I have a quick question. I'm in
Mhm.
Region 4. Um,
Yep.
we didn't have people go online because we got a lot of complaints about checks taking so long. So we're collecting money. Do I still have to go online and put my tally sheet in to get my cutoff sheet on before I mail my check?
So you're collecting funds and you're sending in one check,
Yes.
correct? Um, so if you're sending that check in at cutoff time, then yes, you're going to need to submit a cutoff form for it, and you will have to either have a sponsorship order form or a tally sheet. If you
Okay.
send that check
My
in before cutoff, then and you don't need to do the cutoff form.
okay. You confused the heck out of me. My question was, I don't have people online. Do I need to go online and put in a tally sheet to get the required cutoff sheet to send my check?
Yeah, so online sponsorships, no, you don't need to go online and do that. But the cutoff form is online. And if you are sitting in that check at cutoff time, you will have to go online to submit a cutoff form.
And then they'll send me the cutoff approval email before I send my
Mhm.
check, right?
Correct. Mhm.
Okay, that's what I needed. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Julie,
Yep.
this is Irene from Interlaken, Florida. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. This is off the wall question, and I know you're going to tell me you have no control over it, but last year I received my wreath. Now I'm in Florida where it's hot, and last year I received my wreath like 8 days beforehand, which I had a hard time keeping them cool. And then online, I see where a snowy state gets them like 3 days before. Is there any way we can control that these hot states get them a little bit closer and the cooler?
So I know it seems like that would be the way it would go, right? But there's a lot of moving pieces here. For instance, we have like 10, 15 crosstalks that we use that hold the wreaths for us. So sometimes some of these snowy states, those wreaths are already sitting at the crosstalk. Like we have a dock in Washington. So, Washington may not get their wreaths for 2 days before, but that's because they're at the crosstalk that's right up the road. Meanwhile, Florida, there's no crosstalk in Florida. So we have to work specifically with trucks around their schedule of when they can get them down to you. And we have, they are picking them up in Maine, or they might be picking them up from a cross dock, but then they still have to drive them to you. And it really all comes down to the fact that they are volunteers. They're volunteering their time and their equipment. And because we don't, charge any shipping for you guys,
Lynn,
we are kind of at
can you turn that down?
we are kind of at their mercy there. So that's why we do tell all locations that they should plan to receive those wreaths within a 2-week window. So if you are in a place where it is, warmer, you could also connect with some local, warehouses, see if there's a place that has like a refrigerated area they can use. I know I personally live in North Carolina, and I've had mine delivered, 2 weeks before, and I just sit them outside, open the boxes, let them breathe, and it's been 80 degrees and they've, you know, lasted very well. So, not the answer you're probably looking for, but there's not really,
Yeah.
I know it seems like there's no rhyme or reason to it, but there really is. There's just so many moving pieces. And when you're talking about delivering to over 5,500 locations in a 2-week window, there is usually a reason why you're getting that early. And another location is getting theirs right before.
Yeah, I figured that, but I figured, it's not going to hurt to ask.
Yep.
All right, thank you.
You're
Hey.
welcome.
Hey,
Hi.
Julie, this is
This is
Catherine.
George.
First year, a newbie. I got an email, and I'm not sure how to answer it. It's from the contact form for my cemetery. And they asked, how do I determine if a grave at Fort Lincoln is scheduled to receive a wreath? How do I answer that?
So if you are the location coordinator, you would have
Yes.
access to the grave specific requests, and you could look it up there to see if someone has sponsored a specific wreath for that grave. Otherwise, it's just communicating with that cemetery, whether you say, no, I do not have a grave specific request for that, or if you're going to have full coverage. If you're not going to have full coverage, you can have a conversation with your cemetery to see about which sections they want you to cover and kind of rotate them so that, every grave is covered eventually.
Okay, so my cemetery that's first year. It's not been, all the veterans have not been confirmed. So we're breaking it down into sections. And based on my last wreath total count that I saw, I'm only going to do actually one block. But how best to answer her question, just to tell her that we're only doing one block, and we hope to cover all the veterans in that one block.
Yeah. Yeah. And like I said,
Okay.
just check that grave specific. If you don't have a grave specific request, and you can say, you don't have a grave specific request for that. veteran at this
Okay.
time, and you're going to be doing this block.
Okay, super. Thank you.
Julie, this is
Yeah,
George
go ahead,
Hobbs.
George. Hello.
I got a question for you. I might have a problem with the delivery address.
Okay.
What would be the cutoff date for me to switch that delivery address?
So the cutoff for you guys to make those changes is November 1st. Of course, we understand that things happen and things have to change. So you will just need to contact your liaison. We will continue to take those, last minute changes as long as we can until, ideally, when the truck leaves, we're kind of, you'd have to then work it out with the truck driver. But if you
Understand.
can get that to us before your cutoff date, that would be ideal.
Okay, I should have that by this weekend because I'm meeting with the commander of the VFW post at where we usually deliver them. And they're
Okay.
having
Yeah.
construction and they're having some other issues, so they made a comment to me, so I'm looking for an alternate.
Yeah, and worst case scenario, when the truck driver calls to make those deliveries, if you're like, hey, like we've got construction, you're not going to be able to get in here, they're going to help shift that too, because they're not going to want to try to get their truck, in there, get in a place where they're stuck in construction and all that. So they're pretty good to work with. You just got to make sure we're communicating it.
Okay, thank you.
Hi,
Thanks,
Julie.
George.
Hi, Julie. It's Ellen McCauley. Can you hear me?
Hello, I can.
Hi, I am the coordinator in Syracuse, New York. I have two questions. The first one is, if the cutoff date is December 1st, that means I'll get the cutoff form on November 24th. Now, today is the 12th, and I have checks, and I was told it would take 4 weeks to process them. So am I better off holding on to all my checks from this November 12th to the 23rd and process them all on the cutoff form, or should I keep mailing them in?
So you can still go ahead. I would still go ahead and mail them in. So processing is a little bit more than us receiving them, because when they processing them, they've got to, go through all the different things that finance has to go through to completely process them and get them uploaded. But if we have them, they would still go into your account. So at this point, I would go ahead and send them in. You could send them priority mail so they get there, that they're already there. Once you're, like a week out, then I would just probably save it and put it on the cutoff form.
Priority mail might be an issue because, we have no budget, but that is an option. I also wanted to mention that when people give me cash, I count it all up and I take the time to fill out a different order form for each person with their name, address, and phone number. And then I mail it in with one check, but then I got credit for all the wreaths, even though I had filled out like 10 different forms for the people who gave me cash. Is there any way around that?
Yes, that's something, just reach out to your liaisons because they can help get that corrected.
Okay, thank you.
Hello, I have a quick question about thank yous. Can you
Yeah,
hear
go
me?
ahead.
I'm Carolyn from Region 3. Since the dashboard has been changed around, I can't figure out how to get on there to thank whoever's ordered them online. Is that still on there and I'm just not
It
finding
is. So it's actually got its own little section now. So it's, should be easier to find. But if you go, when you're logged into your dashboard, if you go under promote, you're going to, you'll see the option that says send thank yous, and you can click right there and you can do them one by one, or you can do send all and send them all at one time. And when you do send all, it'll send it to all that have not already been sent.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey, Julie, this is Grody. Can I talk to you a minute?
Yeah, absolutely. How are you, Gertie?
Okay. Hey, just a quick question. I noticed you say the 24th of November is when that cutoff sheet's going to come out. Can those come out any quicker? I hate waiting until the last of the filing thing there to get this money in, and I just like to get it out of my hair with everything else I got going.
You can reach out to your liaison and see if she can help you out with that.
Okay, thanks.
All right. Does anybody else have any other questions?
Yes, I do.
Go ahead.
Yeah, this is actually Keith Johnson in South Carolina.
Hi,
We're
Keith.
we're about 450 wreaths short. If anybody has some extras that they would like to swing our way.
Make sure you share that with your liaisons too, because we can put you on our list where we try to help people out when we can.
Okay. Yeah, I've had several sponsorship groups who have like dropped off and haven't done anything at all this year. So we're scrambling.
Have you done your have you logged into the dashboard and sent the reorders? Because you can do that messaging even if those groups are no longer active, you can still, as a location coordinator, reach that audience there.
I have not done that, but
Yeah, I think that'd be a great opportunity if because you could do them all at one time. And the way that the reorder links work, it's the send reorder request is that has a reorder link in it. So as a location coordinator, you can send them out from your location, but it's going to have the like previous order information in there. So it still go to that group. So you're not, taking away from any of the groups. And that way you can still kind of capture those if you have a group that has fallen off and is no longer active and you're not losing those sponsorships.
well, they all reactivated this year, signed the paperwork, but they just are not responding. And most of them, I have like 3 or 4 schools and a youth group at a church, and they're just not responding. Could be that whoever was in charge of the group has gone to other positions or whatever. But
yeah. So I would just go in. It takes like, it works real smooth, and it takes like you can send them all at one time, and it's going to send to anyone who has not reordered yet for this year. And again, it's going to be as a location coordinator, it's going to be for people who are, doing it through groups and stuff for you as well. So that way you can still kind of capture those.
Oh, so it's basically saying, hey, would you like to reorder again?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Fantastic.
Yep.
Thank you.
And if you need help, just reach out to your liaisons and they'll help you out. Okay.
We'll do that.
I've got a question.
All right. Thank you. Go ahead.
My name's Larry in Oregon, and this is our first year, and I have reached out for sponsorships, and I've called everybody that I can think of, talked to a lot of people, and I've not been able to get anywhere as far as sponsorships are concerned. Does anyone have any ideas what I could do differently?
There's so many ideas.
Have you contacted, do you have any local Daughters of the American Revolutions or Sons of the American Revolution groups in your area?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
And talk to them. Where are you located?
Medford, Oregon.
Oregon? There's probably some DAR groups.
Yeah. Mr. Peeler, go ahead and give me a shout out afterwards. I'm at R. Wilson. I'm the public relations coordinator for Wreaths Across America, but I live in Medford. So,
oh, really?
Yeah. Okay. So feel free to reach out.
All right.
I'll put my email in the chat.
Thank you.
Yeah, there's lots of opportunities for getting those, like Annette was saying, you can reach out to some of the other organizations in the area. That's something your liaisons can help connect you with as well. There are, grant opportunities, lots of different things without looking at that specific area. I wouldn't necessarily know exactly where to start, but I'm going to say just reach out to your liaisons because that's going to be your best point of contact. And then of course you've got Rachel, who is also, with our PR team and is right there locally. So another great resource to utilize there.
Can I speak? I'm Joette from, but I know Medford, Oregon, and you've got a bunch of VFWs and American Legions there, and that's a great place to start. I am a DAR member. Just go to your, just Google Daughters of the American Revolution and look for your chapters there, as well as, we, almost every chapter here in America orders wreaths. So that's a really good group. And they may be, Medford's 100,000 people, so that's a big area.
Put an ad in the paper.
Well, yeah, it costs, costs money, but you've got Harry and David there, so that's what I would. That's where I would go.
Well, and another. Oh, Mr. Peeler, you're muted, so we can't hear you.
I said I've contacted them, but it's through 1-800-Flowers, and I've contacted them as well.
Do you have a Rotary
You might
Club?
try.
Try the Rotary Club. They always help us.
And this is kind of out there as well, but I am a member of our local Harley Owners Group chapter, and a lot of those the riders are veterans and they've donated. So, I mean, go to if you've got a local Harley dealership, ask if they sponsor a Harley organization and talk to them.
I actually just spoke the other day at Sherm's with Rachel Waters and got her card, and she is the VFW 1180 president. So I can pass that information on to you as well.
You might want to try the Lions clubs also. Any of
Yep.
the social service clubs we find to be very helpful. And I'm in New Hampshire, and I assume throughout the country that they might have be able to similarly support the Wreath program.
Also, Knights of Columbus, that's in their bylaws that they have to support veterans. Go to your Knights of Columbus.
Yep.
I would also
lots of great organizations
I would also
to
chime
connect
in.
with.
I'm going to chime in also. My local women's club is sponsoring all the women that are buried in my town.
Loyal Order of the Moose is another contact. They're all over the country.
Yeah, I appreciate everybody's feedback on this because we are at that 3 o'clock time frame. I just want to wrap it up a little bit, and if anybody has a question, another question, we'll go ahead and take that. Okay, go ahead.
I do. Is it me?
Yeah, go
Hi,
ahead,
this is
Barbara.
Barbara. Hi, I've been trying to find this out with the upgrade of the website, and I've got replies from our local region person. But is there any way from the update of the website that we can get a list of the individuals that were sent an email right at that same time? Is there any way that the IT department can find that? I sent out over 900 some emails. I believe it was like right at the end of September, not knowing that was actually the same time the transition of the website, and I lost all that information. So all I have now is the new information from the new orders and so forth. And also we can't preview any of the preset messages that are established in the website update. If I go to send the thank you, like either one or all of them that are in there to any of the new orders, there's no way to preview that message. I can't see what is being sent. And I've requested that several times. So you're frozen.
So it actually, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, so you actually can preview any of those messages. When you go to send them in bulk, it's not going to let you, it's going to just send them all at one time. But if you go to the individual, like if you go when you're in like send thank yous, if you go click on the little message bubble that's right next to the individual person, you can see what the message says, and that's what it's going to say when you send it in bulk too. Same with the reorders and the highlighted messages. You can click on go into the details to see them. Any messages that you sent before, they should be coming over. If there is a specific message, if you go into your messages and under the sent, if you're not seeing a message that you sent beforehand, you can reach out to your liaisons and they can try to dig into it. But I mean, honestly, if you have the message, you could go ahead and resend it. That was one of the reasons why we did do the upgrade, because it really just improved on the messaging and all the different things, moving pieces.
No, it's only showing a pre-sent letter. There was a personalized email that I sent to everybody regarding information that we have going on, like different events and information that I needed to get out to all these recipients, and that email is gone. And I have no way to recontact those people again. I have no way to know who's replying, who got it, so
Well,
forth.
the
It's
replies would
gone.
come to you. The replies aren't in the system. So what I'm saying is I recommend you just send the message again, because
But
then
I
you can
can't.
still
The
send
message
it.
is gone. It's all
You
gone.
didn't.
Everything I had prior, any of my pre-set up messages, so forth like that, they're gone. The only thing that is in the messaging system is what was set up with the website update. And if I,
Right, but you don't have it in a Word document on your computer where you can just paste it in there, or you have the information that you can recreate
no,
it?
no, because I created it in the website. I was actually traveling and created it in there and sent it. And that's what I'm trying to find out. Like, I have no way to see who sent that information, like who received that information. I don't want to constantly keep sending the same person the same information over and over. And that's why I don't
Right.
like the IT
That I
department can
wouldn't.
somehow retrieve them.
Yeah, there, unfortunately, it probably what happened was is it didn't go through, or for whatever reason. I would just resend it. If it was me, and I would recommend it to anyone here, I would resend that message, because I don't think at this point, it's been, over a month now. If someone does get it twice, they're not going to, be frustrated or
Right.
mad that it's spam. It's just that's better for them to have that information twice than to not have it. If you need help gathering information to recreate that email, you can reach out to your liaisons, and they can try to assist you as much as they can.
Okay,
Julie,
and
could
you're
I
saying,
ask a related question?
Sure, Tom.
Regarding the upgraded website, a year or two ago, I had spent a lot of time inputting a list that was very effective, by the way, on those group mailings. But this year with the new system, I wanted to update or to edit that list because some changes have been made, and I'm told that that's not possible. And is there
Your
any
contact
chance that
list?
the prior mailing list that was used in prior years, I'm told that there's no way to go in and see what that list is, who's on it, to make any changes or edits. And I
So if
think that's kind of a
we don't
disappointment.
have, the mailing list doesn't live in there. So if you're talking about like your email list, like a contact list that
Yes,
you
yes,
imported, those
yes.
contacts should still show in there under your contact section. If you're not seeing
It,
your contacts, you can reach out to your liaison and we can assist with that. But your contacts, we haven't taken, we're not
it
going to
shows
try to take
it
away from
shows a
anything.
number, but there's no way to see the participants in the number that it shows on the web page. So I will reach out
I don't fully
to
understand what you're saying, but yeah, reach out to your liaisons, because the whole goal of the upgrades is just to give you guys more tools and more things to use. We're not taking anything away, and it's certainly not like your contacts that you have. They just might not have synced over correctly, and that might be something we need to, just take a look at the individual one or something.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
All right. All right. Well, everyone, it is after 3 o'clock. If you have additional questions, I'm going to encourage you to just reach out to your liaisons, and they can assist you with your individual things that you may need help with. And I appreciate everyone taking time to join us today. This recording and the slides will be up on the volunteer resource page within the next couple of days. Keep your eye on your emails for seasonal information from your regional liaisons regarding cutoffs and shipping and all that good stuff. And I hope everyone has a wonderful Wreath Across America Day in December.
Thanks for all the help.
Yeah, thank you.
Julie,
Go
I'm
ahead,
sorry.
Larry.
My computer took a dive. I'm trying to reach out to R. Wilson again to get a phone number. You still on here?
Larry, I can send that to you. This is Patricia with Region 4. So I'll send you Rachel's information.
I appreciate it. Thank you very
You're
much.
welcome. You're welcome.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Thank you all.